It's Jess.
Hi! This week I thought I'd talk to you guys a little bit about spirituality. I got a little bit into it last week when I did my pumpkin decorating video about banishment and karma, and this week I just wanted to get into things I wish people would have told me when I was first exploring my spirituality. When I was first beginning to explore my own spirituality, it was very much me trying to find one specific leader to follow everything they said, because that's what I grew up with. So the first person I found when I was first looking into my own spirituality began to talk about a lot of things that were very strict, and I just felt like that wasn't what was calling to me. I felt constrained and I felt constricted, and I felt like this wasn't what it was meant to be. Finding your own spirituality and finding your way within Source was not supposed to be this strict. That, after all, that's what I had just come out of. So here's a list of things that I just wish people would have told me when I was first exploring my own spirituality. This list comes from my own experience as well as experience from friends of mine. So here we go. One of the first things that really turned me off with that first spiritual guru was that they were insisting that you couldn't flounder about, as they put it. You couldn't pick things that vibed with you and follow it for your life. They said you had to pick an ism. You had to pick one thing that you were going to follow forever and dedicate yourself to it and never stray from it. That was very triggering for me because of what my background is like, and I just wish someone would have told me that's not right and you don't have to listen to that kind of thing. You don't have to pick just one god and one goddess that you're going to follow for your whole life. When I was first looking into my spirituality, I wanted to follow the teachings of Apollo and Gaia. And I thought that was going to be it. That was going to be it forever. And I realized over the last year and a half that those two spirits didn't really resonate with my soul searching anymore. And that's okay. So I did some more research into what I was feeling drawn to, and I found another spirit form that I resonate with right now. You don't have to be a part of an official coven. I know movies like The Craft tell you that you have to find a coven that you're going to stick with forever, but if you really are an introvert or you're really new to the craft and you're not really sure who you want to be talking to about your belief system, you don't have to find and stick with one specific coven of people forever. If you go into a meetup of pagans in your local area and you don't feel welcome, or you feel off, or you feel like there's just something about these people that you don't feel right with, you don't feel comfortable with, it's okay to not go back. You don't have to force yourself to be part of a coven. If you don't believe in the Wiccan Reed, you don't have to follow it. If you don't believe in the Law of Three, you don't have to follow it. I mean, I'm just saying, whatever resonates with you, whatever you feel drawn to, whatever you feel is right for you, I believe that you should research it, that you should really look into it, and you should find some people who are knowledgeable in it that can teach you about it before you dedicate yourself to it. There's a lot of stigma in the New Age community about the darker side of magic. They think that, and you harm none, do what you will. You know, don't harm anyone, don't curse anyone, don't banish anyone, don't do any dark magic, don't do any brujeria. They don't believe in that kind of thing. They don't believe it being right. But I believe I touched on this in last week's video, that just as there are two sides in nature, there's a day and a night, there's a prey and the predator, there's a male and female presence, there's light and there's dark magic. If you don't feel specifically drawn to the sparkly fairy light magic, and you feel drawn to research the darker side of magic, like demons or dragons or the Morrigan, things that are considered darker, I would say research into it. Find somebody who can teach you about it, maybe get a reading about it, read some books that teach you about that kind of that side of spirituality, because there might be a spirit, there might be a goddess or a god who's wanting you to break through that barrier, who's wanting to speak with you about something going on in your life, who might want to help you in something that's going on in your life. So I would say, once again, look into it, and that it's okay. It's okay to not be always drawn to the light. It's okay to not always be drawn to the dark. If you don't feel like you're wanting to do like powerful dark spells, if you really do feel drawn to doing lighter work, like soul searching, meditation, fairy work, angel work, guidances, things like this, that's great. Do it. And if one day you feel not drawn to one or the other and you feel like fixing that harmony and that balance again in your life, then you can research back into the other thing. Life is a harmony. Life is balance. So it's okay to be drawn to one thing today and another thing tomorrow. Educate yourself. Don't just blindly follow a spiritual leader because they use a lot of fancy words, or they make a lot of money, or they have what they claim to be the biggest following on the internet or whatever. If you don't feel that what they're talking about resonates with you, then you shouldn't be following them. You shouldn't be talking with them, you know? Why don't you do this? Go into Google or go into Safari, whatever. Type in what it is that you are the basis of your beliefs right now and see what comes up. You might find a blog out there of some blogger in, I don't know, South Africa, who's talking about something that really resonates with you. And it's another thing, it's okay to have a coven online. I'm in a part of the world right now where not a lot of people know me. Most of the people who I'm friends with and most of my family live on the other side of this country that I'm in America. And it's okay to have a support system of spirituality that's online. Don't feel that you have to have somebody there with you if you're unable to reach out in your area. If you're in the Bible Belt and not anyone in your community is open to your pagan path, to your brand of spirituality, don't feel like you have to be out about it. If you have a support system online, that is great. You don't have to buy expensive crystals because some spiritual leader tells you that it's going to fix your life. If you have small smoky quartz, a little white quartz, and maybe some garnet and some black tourmaline, and you just have like a little group of crystals that you're starting out with, you don't have to drop $500 on some random crystal you've never heard of because the spiritual leader you've recently been following is promoting it, okay? Do some soul searching, talk with those people who are your support group, and find out if that's going to actually resonate with you, if that's in your budget, if it's going to actually help you with what you're doing right now, if there's perhaps a cheaper version of a different kind of crystal out there, something more affordable that can help you the same way. I would say go for the more affordable version, okay? It is totally okay to glean knowledge from more than one culture. If you're learning about spirituality from Grecian culture, from Roman culture, from Russian culture, you have some Great Britain ancient goddesses and gods and spirits that you've been listening to, some Native American ones, perhaps some Polynesian ones, or some Mexican ones, some from Peru, you know about some from Yoruba in Africa. That's okay. There are many paths up the mountain, but the view from the top is the same, if you've heard that kind of saying before. It's okay to learn from more than one culture, from more than one spiritual viewpoint. If it resonates with you, research it. I wish someone would have told me that my crystal grids and my spells would do better in certain corners and areas of my house. It's called feng shui. I would recommend you look it up, because as great as it is to have your whole dining room table set up with all of your prosperity crystal grid, and you've got green candles and money laid out, and everything is laid out in the middle of your home, in your dining room table with your prosperity grid, maybe it would do better in a certain corner of your house. Maybe it would manifest quicker in that area of your house. I would say look it up. It's really benefited me. You may see a lot of things in social media about like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, or Venus is in retrograde, or Jupiter's doing this, and Uranus is doing this right now, and the moon is doing this, and the sun is doing this, and it's daylight savings or whatever. And you might think, oh yeah, whatever, the planets do things, but I don't really have to research a lot about it. It's good to know what's going on with the planets within a specific moment of time so that I can protect my energy. If I know that something's happening with Venus right now and I'd like to guard my love relationship, I'd like to know that. I'd like to know what's going on and how long it's going to last, and what crystals I might be adorning myself with or putting out in my windowsill, what kind of candles I might light at night to protect my love energy. Or perhaps Mercury's in retrograde and everything's going bananas. Maybe I should know that before I sign a new lease on my apartment, or before I buy a new computer, or before I get a new car. Because the planets do have something to do with energetic shifts in our universe, and it's good to know what's going on and protect yourself from what's coming at you. If you feel more comfortable drawing your circle of protection with your finger, with a knife, with a wand, with your sage, just imagining it in your mind, do what feels right for you. If you don't feel like using an athame and a cauldron actually does anything for you, don't do it. If your energy isn't resonating with this specific tool, find a tool that works better for you. If a clear quartz wand is all you have and you feel like it's okay for you right now, but you really would like one that has like a smoky quartz piece on the end, why don't you do a drawing spell for it? Keep an open eye for it. See if you can make one for yourself for now. You don't have to drop $50 on a brand new wand. If you find a smoky quartz point and you have some super glue and you have some wire or some twine and a cool stick that you found, why don't you try to make one for yourself? Put your own energy into it. Maybe carve some runes on the side or dip it in paint and glitterize it. Do something that's going to put your energy into it, that you've birthed this product and it's going to help you with your magic spells. Don't let other people tell you that what you're doing isn't going to work, okay? And I mean it like this. If your community of people, or those people that you've been talking to in your spiritual path, are all real hippy-dippy, like bohemian dressing, and their house is like lots of colorful, and they've got, you know, glitter around their eyes all the time, and they're always talking about light stuff, and they're talking about things in their community that are like, oh, this is so beautiful, and they talk really lovely, and they address everyone as goddess, and they, oh, blessed day, and everything like that, and you just really, you know, like you get along with them, great, you like talking with them, but you really are drawn to like wearing the dark black Morticia like outfits, and like maybe like doing your makeup more gauntly, and like doing some dark around your eyes, and you like the darker candles in your home, and you have like dragon art and like, you know, the candles that drip red wax down the side. And you feel really witchy doing that. You feel really great and really powerful in yourself. Do it. Don't let someone tell you, don't let someone dictate to you what it is that you need to wear or what it is that you need to have in your home and adorn yourself with that's going to make you a witch. If you feel most comfortable wearing just everyday clothes, like a t-shirt and some jeans, and you just have like a small little clear quartz point, and you really feel powerful and witchy in that, do it, okay? It's about bringing out your inner confidence, bringing out the inner goddess in you that's going to help you in your spirituality. You have to feel confident in what you're doing and what you wear and what you have in your home. Some days, my home is really glittery, like really beautiful and light, and I have like all my most pretty decorations out, and some days I have only like aesthetically black and white things, like I've got skulls everywhere and like black candles and stuff. So it's like, it's whatever is just resonating with you in that moment that's going to help you with your magic, do it. I've mentioned this once again earlier, but I'm gonna mention it again. You don't have to have all the answers right away. Don't feel like you're constantly tripping up that whatever you're doing is wrong. We're constantly going to be learning for the rest of our lives, learning things that could help us, learning things that what we're doing is maybe hindering a specific spell that we're trying to do. It's okay to be learning. If you've arrived, then what's the point, okay? There are so many cultures and there's so much knowledge out there that maybe you read an article today and you don't get it, and then 3 years later you come across the same article and you totally get it, totally resonates with you. That's great, okay? I wish people had told me these things way early on in my spiritual path, because I've done so much floundering and so much what other people would say is like wishy-washy, like back and forth. I wish someone had told me all of this. If there's anything else that you wish someone would have told you when you were first exploring your spirituality, leave it down below in the comments. Share some of your knowledge and let me know, because I would really like to know about it. I put out new videos every Monday. Make sure to give that like and subscribe button a 1-2 punch, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!